Hey lovies, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Xtremetarot, where we do moon readings and zodiac readings. Today we're doing a zodiac reading for the sign of Capricorn. We're taking a look at what your spirit guides think you most need to hear right now. So what do we have here? We have number 26, the lioness. It says lion-hearted. And what excuses am I making right now? So this lioness card talks about our perceptions of ourselves, physical beauty of others and ourselves, how we perceive that, how we use our own physical beauty. But it talks a lot about physical attributes. And it talks about how some people use their looks for personal gain, and how to recognize that the beauty really comes from inside of you, and like blah, 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 like stuff like that. Stuff related to beauty and how we see ourselves, how we use our beauty, and things like that. And it also talks about how beauty can be distorted into something ugly. And in conjunction with this, what excuses am I making right now card, I think that's what I'm getting here, is that there might be a situation here where you're looking at somebody else that you maybe perceive as beautiful, handsome, whatever gender you are, whatever, but someone good looking. And it's almost like maybe you see them having some success in their life, and you're making, it's with the excuses, it's almost like you're not wanting to face something about yourself, and it's almost like you're casting blame, and almost like, oh, that person's beautiful, so they get everything. And especially if you're feeling like things aren't going so well for you, like you haven't been able to have the same successes as whoever you're comparing yourself to here, it's like you're telling yourself a story that you're almost like making this person the bad guy maybe, or the bad girl, you know what I'm saying, but like the bad guy archetype. Because with this lioness card, I'm thinking of this girl I work with. Her name is Lauren. She's a Leo. That's why I'm thinking of her. But she's like literally like gorgeous. Like she looks like Margot Robbie. Literally look like, I've seen customers like make her take a picture with them. They're like, oh my god, like you're literally Margot Robbie's twin, can we take a picture? Like multiple times I've seen this. This is like so funny. But like she literally is like absolutely, even without makeup, I mean, like she's perfect. She's so pretty, like just like a classic blonde hair, like Margot Robbie. Like we all know what she looks like. But I've seen people just be so mean to her for no reason, and like she really is like a beautiful person, and very like fun, funny, like, you know, she's a true Leo. Like she's at the center of attention, but she doesn't use her power for evil. Like she just is very funny and entertaining, and just like, oh my god. But like people are mean to her, and I think that people sometimes see somebody that's like really attractive and stuff like that, and almost feel like it's justified to like treat like good looking people bad, almost like, oh, whatever, they're good looking, so who cares? Like almost like they don't have feelings because they're so good looking or something like that. It's just like, but look at this little girl, this person looks sad on this card here. So I don't know, I'm kind of getting a vibe like that. And it's like, the thing to remember here is that we all have good and bad in us. Like we all have an ugly side to our personality, and I feel like, and we all have a beautiful side of our personality, like, and our soul or whatever. Like we all have the dark and the light here, and it's important to recognize that like we can all like sink into these uglier energies at times. And even like, okay, I'll tell you something I did, just because it's like, and I still feel shame about it, but like when I was in my early 20s, I was working at this job, and there was this girl that was just like really pretty, again, like just super, she was just cool. Like she was, I thought she was cooler than me. Like she was like really cool and like pretty, whatever. And my boyfriend also worked there, and I just thought he liked her. So I don't know, like I used to hang out with this girl, like she was my friend, and it was like I was kind of being like a bad friend. And I remember telling my boyfriend that, like, because we used to like go swimming, like whatever, we're girls, we used to change in front of each other and stuff, that she had like acne, like, you know, in some places. And it wasn't even, I don't even think it was true. I don't remember if I made it up or if it was actually true, but I just like didn't want him thinking about her like that, because I was so insecure with myself and so jealous that I made up stuff about this girl. I think about that now, and I'm like I'm still friends with her on Facebook, and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm so sorry. Like it's like such an ugly part. Like, but it's like we all have it in us. Like we all can sort of like descend to that level, even if it's not for a long time. Like it's like we go there sometimes, or in whatever way we do, you know? So I think spirit, like there might be some sort of ugly, we're getting like an ugly, beautiful thing here. So some sort of like behavior that's maybe not the best, that maybe spirit is wanting to address here. That's like if you're looking at somebody else and being like, oh, like they have everything because they're good looking, blah blah blah, but is that an excuse because you maybe aren't getting up and putting the work in? Are you not getting up and working on your self-confidence issues? Like for example, it could be like inner work like that. If you see somebody, because this was talking about also like people using their beauty for like to get things that they want. So maybe it's like, oh, they only got that job because they were like really good looking, like, oh, because they're pretty, they got hired over me, or something like that. Like, where it's like, oh, they just get the best of everything in life and I get nothing. Like, but it's like, are you really putting in work? Like maybe this person that you're kind of comparing yourself to here has put in some sort of work to be able to have that success happen that isn't just based on their looks or just random luck. Like for example, if someone you know has like a really good job, but it's like they have a degree that they worked for and they went to school for and they put in time and money and blah blah blah, like went to school for like 4 or 5 years, whatever it is, and have a degree. Now they have a really nice job. I mean, they put in that work. And say like you haven't, you know, maybe you didn't have those same opportunities to go to school and blah blah blah, but like at the same time, like you didn't put in that same work that they did. And then, you know what I'm saying? So it could be something like that where it's not really based on looks, but it's almost like this like haterade kind of a feeling, like based on somebody's looks and thinking that they have the best of everything in life because they're good looking and that they're not really a good person inside. But I don't know, as soon as I saw this, I thought of my friend Lauren, who like I know is such a good person inside. So I'm thinking that it might not necessarily be the case that they're not a good person, or at least it's not the whole package, because it's just like I was saying, like we all have that ugly side of us, we all have that beautiful side of us, like of our souls. Like nobody is all good or all bad. And I feel like maybe instead of having such a black and white definition of who people are, maybe try to understand there's gray areas, there's lots of different colors, there's lots of different layers and aspects to people's character, so including your own too. Okay, so let's see what else Spirit has to say. We have new life coming through, number 39. I feel like, yeah, it's time to sort of let go of the, like, again, like look at the situation differently and almost have like a new start here. I almost want to read from the book. I feel called to. Hold on. Where is this book? Oh, here it is. Yeah. Before we get Moonology, number 39. Birth of new ideas, growth, opportunities, a breath of fresh air, life renewing itself. When spring awakens, well, I almost want to read the contradictory message. Hold on one second. Okay, look, you must acknowledge your inexperience and gently allow yourself to be like the delicate new bud opening. It's okay to admit you may not know something. You are at the beginning of things and haven't yet hit your stride. Be immersed in the newness of it all and don't try to rush the learning process. New life has its own timetable for maturity. Be here now. Life loves you. Okay, so I feel like, again, like that's kind of like the vibe where it's like something to do with like they've had different experiences than you, or they maybe are doing, you're just on different phases of your life for whatever reason, you and whoever you're comparing yourself to. And it might not be just one person, it might be a certain type of person, and you feel that you just don't like these types of people, even if it's just beautiful people. And maybe you are beautiful, but you just don't see it that way. Like there's some sort of distorted perceptions. Let's see, what was the actual message though? Like, When spring awakens the world, joy and excitement can be felt around and in your very core. Blossoms burst from trees overnight, birds return home and sing their glorious song, and nature is full of promise. Miracles beckon on all of us. No, miracles beckon all of us. This is one of those times in your life when new ideas inspire you and new opportunities bring you hope for seeing your dreams come true. All is well in your world, and you have the energy you need to feel renewed. Allow your heart to fill with enthusiasm. Let your light shine, for this is a time of good fortune. So it's like Spirit is really wanting you to like shift your focus away from like looking at other people, blaming other people, hating on other people, resenting other people, onto like your own life, and sort of have this sort of rebirth within yourself where you're like, you know what, like, let me just give myself a chance, have like a fresh slate. That's what I'm getting with the new life, especially if you've been maybe telling yourself a story, because this was on the back of the deck. What is the most limiting belief keeping me from what I want right now? Because maybe it's almost like you're telling yourself like, oh, this person gets everything they want, they're lucky and I'm not. But again, that's like, I'm not lucky. Like, good things don't happen to me because I'm not this person. Like, you know, it could be something like that. What story are you telling yourself? When you think about your dreams, what is the first limiting thought that comes to your mind? If you are not living the life you desire, it's because a part of you doesn't believe it's possible. So it's like, instead of like facing and working on yourself in that way where you're like, okay, how can I have different beliefs? How can I change my beliefs about myself? How can I feel better about myself? And how can I like create more opportunities for myself? Something like that, where it's like, and like putting that sort of a work in instead of spending so much time focused on the other person or other people in general is just really going to take you so much farther. And then today's soul action, it's time to upgrade. Look your belief in the eye and really face this. Like I said, it's like I just had to talk about, like, that's so embarrassing to admit that I ever did that. Like, I'm like so ashamed like that I did that. Like, you know, but it's like we all have that ugly side of ourselves. Like, we all do. We all act ugly sometimes, like even when we know better, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, sometimes we don't realize like the reasons that we're acting in certain ways. And I think it's really important to talk about it. Like, you know what I mean? And just own it. Like this is saying, look your belief in the eye, own it. Yeah, you know what? I was like an asshole. You don't have to say it to the person, but just say it to yourself and then just try to change your belief system. Where did it come from? What new belief are you ready to adopt in its place? How will this change your results? Remember, your belief is the root of your result. Own it, heal it, and upgrade it. And look, I forgot I rolled this. I forgot to even mention it. The dice before we started, and we got the fourth house. And the fourth house is about a lot of things, but I was like, oh, the roots. That's what just reminded me here. Remember, your belief is the root of your result. So you're maybe blaming this person or like people like this person or whatever, like some sort of, the blame is going outside of you. And I think Spirit's saying like, look, oh, own it. Yeah, you got to own it. Your own belief is the root of your result. Whatever circumstances are going on right now, it's like the root cause is your own beliefs about yourself and then your actions as a result of those beliefs. And I'm not saying this to like, again, like, stop blaming other people because the blame is on you. It's like, it's an empowering thing to realize that, because then it's like, oh, it's not just like up to the universe and some people get good things and some people get bad. It's like, I have the power. Lion-hearted, you got to rise up and like take your power back, like from yourself sometimes, like, you know, and like, that's what I feel like Spirit wants you to do here. It's very easy to like cast blame and then just like use as an excuse for mediocrity or for letting your life slide down and like and getting into a depression and making excuses here. And Spirit's like, stop making excuses. Take a look at your own actions and your own beliefs and your own, I don't know, like ways of being and the things you think about yourself and about others, and like really face this and let it go and start dealing with your own self and like taking responsibility for your life. And so, and it's a very empowering to do that, to realize that you have the control and you can change your results by just changing your beliefs. It's very simple, but it's also like the hardest thing to do in the world. Like, I know that's, oh my God. All right, so what else? Oh, for Capricorn. We have a personal issue reaches resolution. Again, that fourth house energy, but it's a personal issue. Spirit's really like bringing that home, and your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. Like, the hard work needs to be put in. We need to resolve these issues that we have with ourselves. I feel like you're very sensitive about something, very sensitive to do with maybe like another person here. However that may be, like whatever is, however that's coming through for you. Oh my God, sorry. I keep like dropping this. For example, like with my friend Lauren, I know that there's people that, like, when their boyfriends will just be a little extra friendly towards her, and you know, they'll blame her as if it, but it's like, what is the root cause of that? Like, is your partner being untrustworthy with you in this relationship? And the fact that they're like, you know, maybe like hitting on somebody else, like, that's not her fault. Like, especially like my friend, the specific friend that I have, like, she has a boyfriend and she's a very she's a Leo, she's very loyal to her boyfriend, like she's not interested in anybody else. And it's like people just like flock to her. It's like they just do. Like, she has that personality. She's like, she once described herself as a golden retriever. She's very friendly and outgoing and just fun and funny, whatever. And it's like people think it's like okay to put their relationship problems on her and like lots of things like that. And it's like, it's not fair. I see it all the time, and it's really, it's not nice. And it's not fair. And it's like, really, it's like a personal issue within that relationship. It's really not, she's just the catalyst maybe to highlight the issues going on in the relationship. And just like there's catalysts for everything to trigger us. Like, that's just what life is, you know, and that's how our soul grows. But it's like people don't want to face their own issues, their personal issues. They want to like just project it onto somebody else sometimes. And that's what keeps you held back. Whereas like, if like, say, just this relationship example that I'm using right now, say these two people are in a relationship and there's this really pretty person in their friend circle that the boyfriend is always hitting on, and the girl is getting mad and being like, that girl's a slut or whatever. But meanwhile, if the girl was like, wow, like my boyfriend's kind of being a douche right now, like he's disrespecting me, hitting on girls right in front of me, or I heard that he's hitting on her behind my back, whatever it is. And it's like, wow, like, why would my boyfriend do that to me? Like, you know, and then she talks to her boyfriend, and then he's just like, whoa, what are you talking about? And like, because he's a douche, he's hitting on another girl, and they decide to break up. And then she meets a different guy like 6 months later that is really into her, and meets this friend, and it's just like, oh, hey, how are you? And it's completely respectful and nothing happens. Like, the root of the problem like needs to be addressed. It's not this, like, this person maybe like, oh, I don't want you hanging out with that person anymore, for example. Like, and then this person isn't in the friend group anymore, they move to a different friend group, then I'll guarantee you some other pretty girl will pop up there. The same problem will keep coming, because the root problem, that's how spirit works. Spirit's not going to be like, oh, good, yeah, you got me there. You sidestepped the problem. Good for you. Okay, well, I guess you'll just keep your crappy relationship. Good luck to you. Just kidding. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not how the universe works. Like, someone else is going to pop up that's going to bring up the same issue. So it's like better just to deal with the root. Right, Leo? Come on, baby, relax, honey. I know. With that little footsie in the air. All right, what else? What does Capricorn need to hear right now? Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? And look, we have beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. I feel like, okay, so, well, first let's just talk about this quick. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Like, it's again talking about your beliefs. You don't feel like you would be supported, so you're holding yourself back from walking a certain path, trying something. You feel like you're gonna fail. You maybe feel like, again, like there's something about like the universe is against you, and you're believing that, and everything you're seeing, you're kind of collecting evidence based on like life experiences. Well, look at this, and look when this happened, and look when that happened. Like, you know, maybe especially if this is a romantic thing, and this is a like romantic rival of yours, whether just in general, like you run in the same circles and you're pulling from the same like dating pool, or it's like a specific thing where you feel like this person stole somebody from you or something like that. I feel like there might be a specific person here that this is referring to, but it's like maybe you're just like, oh, because that person's good looking, or they have money, or I'm gonna say beauty because we have beauty coming through here. That person's beautiful, that's why they like got that person over me. But also like I was saying, I feel like there's a little bit of haterade and low self-esteem here, and on your end, no offense, and that's all stuff that could be worked on. Like, so that's why I'm saying it, so it's like could be addressed and like let it go, and then have this new life here, you know. But it's like maybe the person that is beautiful here also is beautiful on the inside. Like that's what this card was talking about. Maybe there's something else that draws, like, let's say it's just a general thing where like you and this person are pulling from the same dating pool. So let's say people always flock to this person. You're like, oh, if I was prettier, like people would flock to me. But it's like, again, maybe the vibe that you're sending out is one of like, kind of like hate. Maybe you're even talking about this person in a negative way. And other people are like, how could you talk bad about this person? They're such a good person. Like, yeah, they're beautiful. And I'm sure that doesn't hurt, but it's like, there might be other things that are drawing people to it. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's like a message that wants to come through. I'm just getting that with this priestess energy, beauty and devotion, almost like I'm getting the energy of devotion, of like really soft feminine energy. Like maybe this person is a very sweet person. Maybe they're very helpful. They're very, with priestess, mystic, and teacher, it's like they always want to lend a helping hand. So there could be something there where it's something to do with their personality and it's not just their looks. And even though you're attributing it to that, it could come from their confidence. And that's all stuff that can be worked on, you know, on your end. So it's like, if you knew you would be supported, what would you do? I feel like you have a belief that life isn't fair, and that's what needs to stop. We need to change those beliefs. We even had chop wood on the bottom of the deck, which talks about those little details of life every day. Like, I always, what's that in the 40-Year-Old Virgin when he's trying to help that guy and he's like, Steve Carell's character, and he's like talking about grooming himself, and he's like, do you think this was an accident? He's like, look at me, like I'm like fresh to death, like this didn't just happen, I didn't wake up this way, like I do stuff to take care of my appearance. Like, yeah, your raw material is what it is, but it's also like confidence comes from like the little things that you do for yourself every day, the little ways that you take care of yourself. Do you take care of yourself? What are the little details that you do for yourself every day? It could be even as simple as that, you know, where it's not even about like, oh, like you have to like get your eyebrows waxed to feel better. That's what that guy was talking about in the 40-Year-Old Virgin. But it's like, again, if you're just doing, if there's things about you that makes you uncomfortable and you take care of them and you put your best foot forward in the world, you're going to feel better. You're going to just naturally have more confidence. Okay, this reading is going on way too long. I have to stop. Like, where is this last card? And then we have to get tarot here and get cracking. I just feel like this is really important. That's why I'm like taking so long getting so in depth on it. So what's going on? What does... Look what I just cut to, blame. But, oh, acceptance, yes. Acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. You cannot change the way you look. You cannot change the way other people look. You cannot change what has already happened. You can only like take this moment, make the most of it, and like move forward with more, I guess, acceptance here. Like accept what you can, accept what you can't change about yourself, and like change what you want to change, the things that you can be changed, your attitude, your beliefs, your motivation, your habits, like the things you do. These are all things that can be changed. Like what's already gone on in the past, whatever story you're telling yourself, like this person, other person's looks or whatever. It's like, you can't change that. Like, just like how I was saying, how like spirit's just going to bring in somebody else to like in their place. Like you can't escape this test. Like spirit wants you to learn this lesson, kind of a thing, you know? So try to really like sit with this, if this is resonating, obviously, and, you know, see what you can come up with, like, and see if there's any truth to this, you know? All right. So what does Capricorn need to know right now from their guides? What's going on? Leo, what are you doing, honey? All right, what does Capricorn need to know right now? The Four of Swords. What does Capricorn need to know right now? Hi, baby, what happened? You thirsty? What does Capricorn need to know right now? The Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Yes, beautiful. What is Capricorn? Okay. The Lovers. And the Nine of Cups. The Six of Cups. The Two of Pentacles. Okay, well, first of all, a message that I'm getting, we have the Five of Cups here, that there might be something, like, there might be a specific love situation here where you feel like somebody else was chosen over you, like we were talking about. And I feel like with the Six of Cups, I think Spirit is saying, like, there might be, like, a soul connection here that just goes beyond anything in this world. Like, it might just be, with the Six of Cups, that talks about a soul connection, past life connection, and things like that. So this could just be, it's not because, oh, this person's better looking than you. It could just be that, like, these two people's souls are literally made of the same stuff. This looks like a beaker in a lab to me. And it's like, oh, like when we're making, like, these two people's souls, they're made of the same colors and the same things. It just works. It's just a chemistry that exists between two people sometimes. And if this isn't about a specific situation, I think Spirit is just bringing forth that message of, like, that's just the way compatibility works, and that's just the way sometimes people are just more compatible together. They just have more in common. They're more on the same level, even just not with their looks and not all that stuff, even though that could be the case. We have the Lovers here. That's speaking of a mental match. This is speaking of a soulful match and harmony. These are two sixes here. So I think Spirit's like, it's not because you're bad. It's just because they are like a perfect fit or something like that. It's nothing to do with you. It's nothing to do with you at all. It's just like their souls mesh better, or it's just a good fit or something like that. And even with this Wheel of Fortune here, it's like you're two different wheels. You're going at two different paces in life. You're on two different journeys here or something like that. I just feel like Spirit wants you to have this peace of, like, your fortune can change, but it's like you're focusing too much on things that are just beyond your control and have nothing to do with you. Especially if this is like, and I know it's like hard to hear that, like, oh, sorry, like, it's like this person just has a different soulmate. I mean, that sucks, especially if you have your heart set on somebody. And that's how this person looks sad here. So I feel like you are sad about something like that, but it's not even, it's with the Lovers here, it's like not even a choice. It's like, it just works. Probably these two people knew from the first second that they met or something like that. It's just like you could feel something very special here. This is like soulmate energy with the Six of Cups and the Lovers. Like, that's very much like just like a soul harmony, that where it's like probably both of these people, like, it's like they never felt anything like that in their life. They recognize the difference. And it's not that you're not good enough. It's just that you're not their soulmate. Like, you know what I mean? And you probably have your own person that makes you feel this way, that's made of the same stuff you are. But, like, look at the energy that, like, we're kind of picking up on here. Like, Spirit's probably, again, these people are probably, or this person, maybe the rival or whatever it is probably the catalyst for you to take a look at yourself and get you ready for this next phase of your life. And it's very funny. Like, I always think about this, because it's like, I feel like sometimes the people that we hate on the most, or that we have the most issues with, because I feel like there are some issues here, I feel like a lot of times, like, teach us the most and help us grow the most. And I feel like this issue that you have, where you maybe can't accept yourself, or you're thinking very badly about yourself, I feel like this situation here with this other couple or whatever is going on here is like the catalyst in order to, like, help you see that about yourself. And so that way you can be prepared when you meet your soulmate. Does that make sense? So it's about forgiveness. It's also about, because, yeah, even like this card, the Sisterhood of the Rose, it's making me think of like a sisterhood of, like, having each other's backs, like, and not just like hating on somebody because they're doing well. Like, you know, it's like, oh, you want to be my friend until, like, you see I'm doing better than you, and then you want to hate on me and talk bad about me. It's like, you know, like, that's not true sisterhood here, or brotherhood, or whatever it is. But it's like, you know, sisterhood, it's like you got to, like, cheer for your person's, like, your friend's accomplishments, like, you know, unless they're like, you know, doing something bad to you or something like that. But I'm saying, if this is just sort of like some haterade being thrown, it's like, at least aim to be neutral to start. Like, okay, like, I just got to focus on me. Maybe just, like, take some space from these people, or from whoever, if there is a person that's making you feel this way. But yeah, Spirit is wanting you to find your peace, your inner balance and peace again. Two cards bookending this here are like, the Two of Pentacles is about juggling and actually putting in the work and starting to do things differently. That's how it starts. Like, also, I recommend listening. There's this girl, her name is Jessica Heslop, and it's like these confidence affirmations, like, that those are really they're like overnight affirmations, and I'm confident, I am confident, I am this, I am that. And honestly, I am so well groomed. Just remember, wasn't I saying something about that before, where it was like a lot of like, it's like you have to take pride in your own appearance. You have to take pride in whatever way that means to you. It does not mean you have to put makeup on. It does not mean you have to like, you know, conform to beauty standards of the current day or anything like that. But like whatever that means to you, if it's being completely natural and like letting, you know, the sun air dry your hair, God bless, do it up. Like, you know what I mean? But if you haven't been doing that, you haven't even been showering, like for example, you know, it's things like that. Like just, oh, what actually my friend Lauren that I was talking about was like, my mom always told me like, wear clean clothes, brush your teeth, and put deodorant on, and I guess like shower, like, you know, take care of those 4 things and you never have to worry about anything else. Like, you know, something like that, where it's like, just get back to basics here with your, with whatever you're feeling insecure about. Like, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean you have to have overhaul your life completely, but just maybe start there with like the basics of your hygiene, you know what I mean? Or something like that, or your appearance, or whatever it is that you're feeling down about. I feel like there's something about you that you're not feeling good about yourself for whatever reason. So that could, if it is a hygiene issue, it could just be as simple as that, as correcting it, and you'll start to feel better immediately. Okay, so let me get some tea leaves and then we're gonna get some advice. But yeah, with the 9 of Cups, I think Spirit really wants you to like be prepared for whenever your person comes in. They want you to trust your path. They want you to feel supported. They want you to find like the road to whatever like is meant for you here, because they're like, maybe they're like, this just isn't your thing here, but like your thing is coming down the path, and like this is getting you ready for it. If you could look at it like that, it could just changing your perspective like that is very helpful in letting go of resentment, and just helping you to accept the situation. Okay, so what else? What's coming up for Capricorn? Let's just see. What else your guys want you to know? Money path. A path with money is waiting for you to find it. Let me just see where the camera's at. So maybe this is more having to do with career for some of you, and that's like these little habits that we were talking about, like new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening. Yeah, like Spirit wants you to like open this path here, wants to open this path up for you. But like whatever you can do, back to basics, like get your resume going again, or like make a resume if you never have. Like you're like, oh, I never got this job, but you don't even have a resume. Like make a resume. Like, you know what I mean? Like if like whatever is holding you back from like looking for getting a good job that you want, like just start small, try to start doing something else that's like related, like whatever you can do. Start managing your money better now, whatever money you have, and being like more responsible with your money. July, why does July keep popping out? I don't understand what happened in July, everybody. I'm putting that here. I don't know. It's just like this card literally comes out in every reading. So I think like some stuff that happened in July is like manifesting consequences now. Ladder, climbing towards success. This is really interesting. Like Spirit really wants you to know like you're meant to have success, position of authority with a throne, but you have to put yourself there. I feel like you're almost like putting yourself down here, looking up at the throne, as if like you're apart from success and you're apart from things like that. But it's like Spirit's like, hey, rabbit, too much concern with sexual matters. Okay, well, maybe that could be a thing here. Cat, a two-faced friend, and wealth here. I have to say, and I'm so sorry, I think the two-faced friend might be you. Like what we were talking about, how even like I was in that energy, like I was talking about back in the day. I feel like you could just be in that energy, and Spirit's like, and again, maybe over like a sexual rival here or something like that with a rabbit. Let's see, can we get more on this? Oh, I just pulled like 3. Bull, plenty of material things, seahorse, family matters, and hard work ahead. So I think Spirit's saying work on your own money. There's a lot being, I think like Spirit's saying don't worry about relationships right now. Get your money together or something like that. Like get your career figured out, get your finances figured out. I don't know. I feel like that's going to help you to just feel better about yourself. So maybe that's what's causing your insecurity, a lack of money or something. So once you get that in order, like there's a siren going by, so I think this is important. Once you get your finances in order and build up that sort of security for yourself, you'll start feeling like a lot better about yourself. Just gonna put these, I guess, like here. Or, you know what? Oh, here. Let's get the advice and then we gotta wrap up this reading. I did not mean to make it this long. Oh, I think I have my blog links, but I have this one blog post that I wrote. It's called The Kindness Experiment. And maybe I'll just like link that blog below. I'm gonna link it if it lets me. So maybe that was about kind of a similar thing where I learned how to forgive. It's not the exact same situation as what we were talking about today, but you'll see what I mean if you've stayed here this long. So I'll link that below. We have, okay, I'm sorry, it says embrace uncertainty, but what advice does Capricorn most need right now from their guides? What do their guides most want them to know right now? Okay, beautiful. Goal planning. What would success look like exactly? What can I research? What steps can I take? Yes. Focus on yourself, not on anybody else. Keep the promises you make to yourself. Yes. There's always room for improvement, always. Like, this is about like getting to work on you right now and just kind of letting go everybody else and just putting the focus back on you and competing only with the you that you were yesterday. Don't be so smart you can't wonder. There might be an issue of pride here. Look, and do not judge by appearances. A rich heart may be under a poor coat about yourself, and also a rich heart may be under a rich coat. Just because somebody has good things happen to them in life doesn't mean that they're automatically a bad person. Forgive yourself and remember that you're allowed to learn your lessons in the exact way you need to learn them. Yes, please. Like, don't feel bad about, even if we're all guilty of this. We all have like an ugly side to our personality. We all have like a gorgeous, beautiful ray of sunshine part of our personality. And you just might have been in the dark a little bit. And look, replace why is this happening with what is this trying to tell me. Yes, spirit is bringing through catalysts to try to make you see something, but your perception's a little distorted. You feel what you feel right now, and later you'll feel something else. It's all temporary. So please try to forgive yourself. Look at that blog on forgiveness, The Kindness Experiment. It's about my grandma, and she just passed away, so it's a little rough, but she taught me a lot about forgiveness. That's all I can say. I love her. But anyway, okay, so all right guys, let's leave it here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reading and weren't like offended or anything, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.